Hi everyone, Rev Counter here. As you can see, the snow has melted, it's March 2, and we're about to take the white after we fill it up with diesel. We're going to take that and cultivate some of the fields we ploughed last year to prepare for our spring planting season. Our white's the only tractor with GPS, and it works well behind this, or in front of this IH cultivator. So we'll be using it a lot, although we do still use the 4-row planter with the case 970, and our plan is to use that one for corn and the new planter for beans in narrow rows. Put the flashers on. So our plan is to do this field here and that small lower one just by the farm in beans this year, and the other two lower ones will be corn. And sadly our pig feed situation is that we've pretty much run out of food in the bins. We've got none left. Yesterday we sold off all 99 of our 6-month-old fattened hogs, and we've just had another, well, those 6 sows give birth, so we have 58 piglets plus the 6 sows to care for, which might prove a challenge, so we're going to have to move to the bagged food. I also did go round with Easy Dev and remove all the rocks. After a bit of thinking, I came to the conclusion that I really hate doing them in Farming Simulator. It's the one job I really can't stand, so for my own sake and sanity in this already quite difficult challenge, I thought I'd get rid of them. Field 14 we've left as the bean stubble, as that was the only field we did beans in last year. So what we'll do is direct seed that with corn. Let's see if I can set a GPS track up with vehicle control add-on. There we go. So, feeding the pigs is going to be a challenge this year, and I do think we should downscale at some point, but we'll at least wait until the piglets are old enough to be weaned, which will be in May. We'll give it till the start of May, and then we'll have to start making some decisions about how many pigs we decide to keep. And crop-wise, as I said, it's a very simple decision of we don't have enough fields to diversify yet, so it will just be corn and beans for the foreseeable future. And we've got our grass fields as well that we'll get 3 cuts out of. I might do them all silage. I did that last year, just because while we're not making anything that uses hay, we could do with the extra money that silage gives. And we've got quite a decent setup for it now with that wrapper. So we also did some more forestry. As you can see, our money's up with the loan repayment, which is still $13,000, I think. Our cash is up to 46k in the bank. 20k of that was from the pigs we sold yesterday, so the rest has come from the logs, and there's still a load of trees left on the ground that I just took all the machinery back basically yesterday so we could get started on all our field work. So sometime we'll have to head back down there with the skid steer and the trailer to load it up. But I'm not too worried for the moment. I think we got a good quarter of that forest off, maybe a third. So that's a good money making scheme over winter, but it's quite labour intensive. We can also start looking for contracts now. I haven't opened the menu, but we should be able to start doing some work for the neighbours, which will really boost our income. Apparently not yet. No, I don't know whether that is because I added a custom crop calendar that I made recently that will allow us to do a lot more double cropping of things. So we should be able to double crop or follow winter wheat and barley with either sunflowers, soybeans, or a very late planting of sorghum, which should give us a really wide range of options, much more than the base game, which I think only let you double crop barley originally. So I think we'll start by trying to buy a seed drill this year. We'll get ourselves a seeder and then we'll be set up to double crop in year 11. Oh, I forgot to say, now it's ticked over to March, it is officially 10 years that we've been running this farm. Not quite into the ground, but certainly not expanding it as much as we should be. So we really need to get a move on, and I think downsizing the pigs will really give us the capital we need to start buying land. Which is a shame, because I would like to run a profitable hog farm, and we're definitely going to be keeping at least a couple, but for the time being we can't be doing 100, 150 at a time. That's just unreasonable. Anyway, I'll see you when this field is finished. Okay, here we're just coming up to the end rows, so not much more of the field left. Unless the ground's really steep, the white pulls this cultivator really well, and the GPS certainly helps, even though we don't have the largest fields. And I was considering investing in getting GPS on both our combine and the case 8910, but I don't really think we need it. It makes it more fun having only one tractor to do it, so it makes us pick the white more, which is maybe why it's got the highest number of hours at 105 now. We should probably be leaving the cultivator in the ground to help with compaction from our tyres. And actually, on second thoughts, looking at the crop calendar, there's not actually a lot of work to do in March with the new calendar. Only oats can be seeded, so maybe we'll have to wait until April to start getting some contracts in, but that might allow us some time to go pick up the last few trees I felled, get them all tidied up. Because if we leave them for an entire year, they probably will start to rot, which won't be very good in real life, not in game, that is. Now I'm still not entirely sure when doing end rows whether you do the work from the outside in or the inside out. I imagine I've done it wrong, and you'd start from the inside and work your way right to the field border, but not sure. Okay. Right, we'll head back now to field 11, and field 12 also needs cultivating after being ploughed. I think I'm right in saying that it would be a bit unrealistic to seed straight into a ploughed texture. Maybe it's just the texture in Farming Simulator, and if you chisel ploughed it, it would be smoother, I'm not sure. But either way, it doesn't take very long with this. Yes. Luckily we've got no traffic for the bridge because it's a bit on the wide side. Just about okay to pass a cart. Okay. I'm not sure whether to bother with GPS or not in this field. It's one of our smaller ones. I think I will still, just to make life easier. There's also a few things I want to look at in the used vehicle section. I think somebody asked in the last video what mod I used for that, and I think it's the vehicle sale system customizer it's called. And I've gone in and tweaked the settings to add far more vehicles for sale, but I've limited the percentage discount to 25%, I think. Which I feel is a fair trade-off, so we sort of improved the numbers to make it more realistic to what a used dealer would have. But then the discounts are far better. Ooh, that white's very tempting, but we don't really need another sort of 100-ish to, yeah, 100 to 120 horsepower tractor is really not necessary, so we'll leave it, I think. But I'd love to get a second one. They're such nice tractors. What did interest me was this grass roller here, because we do a lot of silage, so I wonder, I'm not sure what the bonus is. I've heard people say it's not worth it, but it would give us another job to do, and it's cheap enough that I do wonder whether we should buy that. Might be my impulsive spending side talking, but I think it might come in handy. I think I'll try time-lapsing the rest of this and we'll see how we get on. nearly at the end of all the land we've got to cultivate. I need to be really careful I don't get wrapped up on either of these fences. I've been playing it a bit too close so far. But that wasn't too bad a job. And then I think we'll be able to get the corn in next month in April and the beans in May. And that should work out well. Should stop using GPS on these short bits, really. It's completely pointless. And I don't like being in the habit of using it too much anyway. I think we'll start on the headland passes. He says as he misses the very first bit. There we go. And you see just the other side of the railroad track, there's field 14, so that doesn't need anything doing to it. We limed all the fields last fall, so they should all be good to go, and that one we can direct plant corn in it. And then we've been using the row crop cultivator to weed rather than spraying herbicide to just get a bit of a higher precision farming bonus. I think eventually I'd like to go to spot spraying, but as far as I know there aren't a lot of mods that use spot spraying that fit the sort of American style save game. Because I think the one that comes with precision farming has all the EU placards and is a model mainly sold in Europe. I think there is the huge new John Deere self-propelled sprayer by someone that does have seen spray. So maybe we could save up for that, but that's many, many years down the line. And then after we've done this job, we'll sell some of our greenhouse produce. We restarted the lettuces after winter, so they'll be growing, but lettuces take the longest of any standard base game greenhouse production, so I use them in the little planter beds there to simulate the fact that you wouldn't get a great amount off each year, really. And we have moved over to using the production revamp mod, which at the moment I'm using just for a little bit of help with organisation, because it really annoyed me that those two corn mills were in different places, because the vanilla game does it based off of the time you purchase them, whereas they're sorted alphabetically with the production revamp mod. You can see there we've got one large square bale of straw. We did end up buying two, and they've used one and could do with that second one in the next day or two. And then after that I think we'll have to this is where it gets a bit steep, and it's good to use the range, go from over to drive on the white over under gearbox. The power shift, that's the word I'm looking for. But yeah, we'll be needing to buy straw in the next couple months, and probably need to buy 3 or 4 bales of it to get us through the year, even if we cut back on numbers, because we're not going to be producing until July, maybe June or July of year 11. Yeah. And from reading advice online, I think the current standard for double cropping is just chopping the straw, because then it's obviously quicker to just follow with a direct drill. However, because we need the straw, I think we're not going to bother, and we'll maybe just try to chase the combine with a straw baler, get it off the field as quickly as possible to still maintain a sense of realism, with the sort of the idea of turning around the field very quickly. But we do need that straw, so as soon as we start producing our own again, the better. And we also, I'll show you when we go down to the shop in a minute, but if you can see down in the bottom on that left-hand menu, the inspection required and the current damage number, that's the realistic damage system mod, which should be really a lot better than the original system, and I think there's some YouTube videos out that explain it, but I'll try to, because we will need to repair our 4020 quite badly. That thing was running mixing pig feed all winter, and yeah, it's taken a toll on it. I think it currently says that there are 8 damages, so to speak, on it, which is sort of the level of wear is split into the idea of having different components you need to repair. But it has 8, and I know when you do an inspection very often it finds extra ones, so that will end up being quite expensive, I think. But now we've run out of food, we don't need it every day on those feed mixers, so it'll be a good time to do it and a good practice for looking forward for the rest of the fleet. But anyway, we'll get this white parked up just out of the way here. I'll just run it up to the right, I think. And then we need to get the skid steer off, load up some pallets onto that gooseneck, and then we'll be good to go. We put the stake bed back on this red truck now, used it with the livestock sort of mesh netting on the sides to sell all our hogs yesterday, and that's usually what we end up using to go to the store to sell these pallets, but we'll use the big trailer this time because we've ordered all of our seed for next year. We've ordered the corn in pro boxes, I think, because the little 4-row planter just has a central tank, and then single ones for fertilizer. And then we've ordered some bagged seed for soybeans, because that John Deere 71 Flex planter that we got, that on the other hand has individual ones, so I imagine in real life it would be less stress just to rip open bags and pour them directly into the seeder. If we get this back here a bit, it should reach our pressure washer, and I tried not to get any water in the strawberries. So we'll get these loaded on. I'm still debating whether or not to get that grass roller. I can't remember how much it cost, but I feel like the benefit just wouldn't be worth it, sadly. And I've seen that roller in the used market before, because obviously we tuned it to have far more products. So maybe we'll be patient and wait, but I know from my history on this series, being patient and waiting hasn't been my strong point, really. I'm much more of the impulsive spending type, as you can see from the big lime green thing lurking in the background there. Anyway, we'll get these all strapped down and get out on the road. Okay, so just coming into town now. We'll have to stop at the railroad crossing, and we'll be law-abiding citizens and wait until right at the end, and then we'll go around the back of the diner here, which is where you sell the fresh produce. Just up here. unstrap. And we don't earn a terrible lot from that, but again, I like the diversification aspect, and it gives us something to do in downtime like now, where otherwise we'd be coming down with an empty trailer ready to pick up all the stuff from the store, so it works out quite nicely. So that's a good $600, which that will cover probably our fuel and maintenance from using the white this morning to cultivate. And we did just blow through a stop sign, I think, after preaching about how we'll be law-abiding citizens. Okay, here's all the stuff we bought. So first of all, we've got this sort of maintenance and repair palette that comes with the vehicle damage system mod. So that should be quite interesting. I wonder if we can actually put that in the bed of the truck and leave it there strapped in. It might look a bit odd, but this would make quite a good sort of service truck then. I think we'll try to get the shop to do that. And we've got these 2 pallets of corn seed here, 3 pallets of the individual bags of bean seed, and then one pallet of mineral feed bags, which we need to complete our last mixture, even though we won't have enough corn for it. I think we'll run out, but we might still be able to get a slightly unbalanced mixture out of it. So I'll see you once the shop has loaded all of this up for us. Okay, so the store has loaded us all up. On second thoughts, I don't think this would work very well in the bed. We do so much towing with this truck that it would just be at risk of crumpling up all the metal cage with all the parts in, which wouldn't be very good, as we've just bought all of that. So we're all strapped down now and good to head back. Right, we're back. So we'll get this in a position where we can get everything unloaded easy enough with the skid steer. That should be okay there. And the first thing I definitely want to have a play with is this maintenance kit. For the time being, if we use this corner here, maybe that'll work better, because we won't be needing that weeder for a while. In fact, I haven't used that for the last couple of years. We've just been doing the row crop stuff. So we'll pop that there. I'll run over and grab the old John Deere. So we'll just drive this into the workshop and try to tuck it in nicely, but still allowing space for us to get all around it, get to those service parts easily enough. And then if we need to, in the inspection or anything, we can drop the loader off in here. We'll put some lights on. And now you see we've got Control J appearing to open the maintenance menu. So if we do that, total damage is to be repaired at 8. And that says that it will be done all day, but that's just for 1 damage. So as we add up the damage here for all 8, it will be completed midday tomorrow, which is quite a long time, over a week in the time mode that we've got set up. But first of all, what we're going to do is start an inspection, which will take an hour. And now the vehicle can't be turned on, can't be driven, we see that the inspection will be completed down the bottom there. So I'll see you once that's all done. Here we are. Okay, that's good. 0 damages found, giving a total of 8 damages. I don't know whether that's because it only had... well, it had only used 1 month of the inspection time. If you see the inspection required in 12 months there. It was saying 11 before, so I'm not sure whether that's what affects it, but we'll get it repaired now, which will cost nearly 2 grand. And take all of the rest of today and all of tomorrow, basically. There we go. And we do that, pay that in advance, I guess. So we'll leave the repair guys to it, I guess. Leave the light on for them. And in the meantime, we'll unload all of this stuff off camera into our seed shed over there. But for now, I think this will be the end of the video. And we'll pick it back up either when we've got some contracts coming in, or in April when we're planting our corn. So I'll see you guys soon. Bye everyone.